Hey there. I noticed a common saying in our lives today, technological fact, which is social media quantifies the perception upon you, and the perception you wish to give of yourself to others. It is called social media. And the point is perhaps to socialize with friends, or maybe it is to adhere to the indoctrination that we all face with seeking out the perspective that celebrities hold and even letting it shape how we feel about ourselves. Or maybe it can be as simple as just seeing social interactions and feeling like you're not worth it, like you aren't worthy of what others have received. Socialization, to socialize, or socializing, I don't know if socialization is a word. It is to form bonds, to form connections with others. I have a few online connections, people that I chat up here and there on Discord, but I am very much a loner. I've been a loner a lot of my life, actually. And while it's often easy to avoid not going to outings and not partying and not truly seeing the world, it builds up inside of me. It slowly but surely it builds up inside of me. This desperate want to feel a girl's touch or to hang out with the bros, but it doesn't ever pan out for me. My social opportunities were back in high school in terms of physical interaction, and then some other things happen beyond that I'll go into. But in high school, in retrospect, I feel despite some great moments, I ended up being cumbersome. I was a cumbersome guy to my high school. Maybe it had to do with schizophrenia and how it started hitting me it started hitting me when I was 17 in the form of manic delusions. Maybe the point is that even before that, I was a very dorky guy. It was easy to dismiss me and perhaps difficult to accept me. Despite the fact that I can also recognize in retrospect that I was not overly different most of the way. I was a pretty normal guy. But it's quite easy to frame someone in through some kind of perceptions for others to feel the same way as a result. Life has got me fucked up because while I have a few friends, we see each other through a screen. Past high school, I mostly ended up being friends with a few people for a few years. I was friends with a few people, but I thought that they weren't really my kind of people. What strikes me as ironic is perhaps they exemplify the societal wave of socializing and of partying. Maybe they were a summary of society. They treated me a bit worse than I would have liked, but they weren't horrendous with me or anything like that. They just weren't ideal for me. But maybe the point is that perhaps I was not ideal for them. As time passed, this one night I was with them and I just started telling them off, these two friends of mine that were local. And I talked to them about how I was frustrated because I felt that we weren't compatible. And I did not appreciate who they were. They did not like it, evidently. And I left their home. They were even inviting me over, and I dismissed them and I left their home. And eventually that just died. Nowadays, it has been 5 years and then some. It's been even longer than 5 years. It's been perhaps 6 years at this point. Close to 6 years since that happened. And I do not hear a peep, I do not hear a word, other than one exception. I do not hear a peep, a word from any of my past local friends. And even the one time that I hang out with someone that I consider to be near and dear to me at that point, it's almost like it's just an excuse to cut things off. I happen to think things are going really well, but by the time it is done and over with, I can see Pride doesn't want anything to do with me anymore. And here I am on Instagram, looking at these hot models and these hot people having chats with each other and fantasizing about making love to one another and appreciating each other's company and having drinks and treating each other with respect. And meanwhile, I am seeing it from my phone in my room as a closed off shut-in. And the point becomes that maybe I will be this way my whole life. And I start hoping that I won't. But the thing is, I only have made so many connections in my day-to-day. Only for them to fade away. The few online friends I have, I trust them and I love them. But I cannot lie about it. Personal interaction, it suits me. I'm probably not as much of an introvert as I've wanted to think. In fact, introversion kind of has been striking me as a lie lately. To not interact with anyone strikes me as a metric as a way to become insane. Yet because of the fact that before I was a lot less reasoned, a lot less disciplined with myself, a lot more ambivalent about truthful integrity and a lot less mature, I just threw it all away based on years that I don't really cherish anymore, because past that point was an entirely different ballgame for me. And I did have opportunities, but I did not seize them. I simply threw them out of the window. And it makes me sad that I live such a dismal social life. Because even my YouTube channel is not helping me. My grandiose, exuberant ideas are an easy way to get me tossed out of a social situation. It's very easy at this point to categorize me as so delusional that I'm not worth anyone's time. I am so caught up in my mental charade that I let go of comfort and happiness as a result. But most of all, I let go of my truth. And my truth is that I am actually poetically pragmatic. I am reasoned. I feel the incentive and the motive to put things out there that are outlandish. They pertain to my experiences, my mental undertaking. But just because I can tell you those words, it doesn't mean that it's viable or reasoned. And it's really started bothering me because I've deleted a few of my videos. I've kind of felt like deleting a few more. It's really started bothering me because In 95% of my YouTube content, I'm a perfectly great guy. I'm charismatic. And I say very entertaining, sweet things. Entertaining and sweet things. Then in a few percent, let's say 3 to 5% of my videos, I take a delusional stance. I argue for a weighty proposition. I perhaps do it in a respectful way, but I don't adhere by the law of life. And regardless of what, I want to live in my little shelter and play by my own rules. It doesn't change what's what. Maybe I could have played this social life thing so differently that it's unbelievable. Maybe I could have been the coolest guy ever. Because I feel today, I feel I could be an extremely cool guy with the right people. I could be the best guy ever to them. And instead, it doesn't matter. It feels like it just doesn't matter. And that's what pains me about it. That's what makes me struggle inside. I've recorded at least 12 vlogs without posting a single one. In between my second to last vlog and this one, I've recorded at least 12 vlogs that I haven't posted. Now, they aren't really that weird. In fact, a few of them were quite normal. But the point is that I've started overthinking everything about myself. I just can't let go of my insecure perception. It's like I just need to accept that I cannot accept because I recognize how it seems. I'll just say one more thing about that. I don't seek to convince you of anything. I am simply sharing my life experiences in those moments, which I don't feel like naming what I've said, but you can find it if you look through my channel. It's a shame in a way. It's my expression in another. Moving past that point, social media does have a way to depress you. It is true. Actually, it is so depressing. The videos in particular where people are hanging out and having fun and being at some nightclub or being at a party or having a drink or having a smoke. Those are very sociable, very noteworthy affairs. And I wish I could. I wish I could be the same way. But I am not in that position. There was a time where I could have been in that position, and instead I decided to just fuck it all up. I acted like too irrational of a person because I became so indulgent in my maniacal desires without them actually being my own. There's something I'm trying to say as well, which is that if I had an ounce of my sentience during those years, which I feel it's only started growing on me very recently, and even that is fairly debatable, but it's more there than before, then maybe I could have not have to care about any of this bullshit. Maybe I could be out there and be living a life and not worry about being a recluse and losing my comfort and so on. Maybe I could just find myself. To be in a much better position. And while I have a few friends, I don't really think I have any in my physical basis. Near me, I don't think I have any. And it sucks to just say it like that. But yeah. Thank you. I have grown some sentience and maturity since. I still have a ways to go. I'm sad about it because I'm actually a 28-year-old guy. And I'm saying I still have to mature. But hey, there's always an opportunity for something in life. Let's not give up on ourselves, right? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I found it sad and depressing. Thank you and take care.